So I'm back, and I wasn't expecting to make another video on this topic, but I just found something very interesting while scrolling through my one of my pages online. So scrolling through, and I saw someone posted this information about the girl that got dragged out of her chair in her class by that cop. And basically, she wrote, "The girl the cop slammed down is mourning the loss of her mother. Her mother just died. She's in a new school and environment. She didn't speak to anyone or engage. She probably is going through so much pain. If this incident didn't already upset me, it's finding out this detail. I could have I could have been that girl at any point in my childhood. I had depression even from a young age and would disassociate in class often. There's an inherent criminality to black people even when they are dealing with emotional and mental trauma. Black girls don't get diagnosed with depression. They get told they have bad attitudes and are always complaining. Black girls don't get diagnosed with anxiety. They're made to be rude and uncivilized. We could shout our pain and suffering from the mountains, but no one even believes we can experience it. We are condescendingly called strong to shut up our tears, so we remain silent. And even in that silence, we are seen as defiant and deserving of brute violence and force for control. But y'all don't hear me though. This is connected. Basically, what this person is doing is they're connecting themselves and, trying to create some relation between her and what she experienced and trying to relate to this girl and the girl's story in the video. So this is very interesting. So she's saying that this girl that was dragged out of her seat by the cop was mourning the loss of her mother. Well, it was the loss of her mother probably happened after this whole situation, and she, I guess, became depressed about the situation. So this girl is taking that story and kind of twisting it a little bit because she put her own experience into it and saying that anxiety and depression is being misdiagnosed in young black women and so forth and so forth. This person who posted this don't know anything about the girl. First of all, don't know the full story. All she posted was the girl's mother died and she's now depressed. Okay, yes, that happens to all of us. When we lose someone, we get depressed. I still don't see the relevance or the relations to her attitude in the classroom and why she was defiant. If she was depressed about something else, because at that time I'm sure her mother was alive. I'm not sure how her mother died. Maybe her mother had some terminal illness. So I can understand to a certain point that this young girl will be, showing some outbursts or dealing with anxiety or depression based on her mom, and maybe she was frustrated with a lot of things, so she was going through a lot in the class. But at the same time, this is something that goes on in black community, I've noticed, and even in young people as well as adults. I don't know if it's the food that we're eating. I don't know what it is exactly. It could very well be, what is being put in our food. I believe that also can cause chemical imbalances in our bodies, which cause us to become more depressed, and the environment we're living in, it's affecting everybody and our moods and our bodies. And so it's very important to, feed yourself on healthy food, eat healthy foods, take care of your health as well. So you also want to nourish your bodies and your children's bodies, so when they go to school they can focus and they're not stressed out. Get them involved in programs, get them as much involved in different programs and activities and things of that nature, so that they can find somewhere so that they can find a place where they can, put all of that into, put some energy into and focus into, instead of having them, act out in class or be disrespectful or getting in fights. And all of that you can condense into depression and disassociation, but it's still not an excuse to have your child going out there being disrespectful to adults, fighting adults, and then say, oh, it's justifiable because they were depressed and they're dealing with social disassociation and all of those things. And that's still not justifiable. Now, if it is a problem, then it's something that we also need to take focus on as well. Instead of being outraged and protesting about police brutality and all that, we need to sit down, Black Lives Matter, whoever you are out there that's pro-black, you need to sit down with your community and get deeper into this issue and talk to your youth, find out what's going on, what you can do about the problem, how you can build up your community to make it more healthier, how you can teach your young ones to take care of themselves and take care of their bodies, so you don't send them out into the world to act out and beat up on adults and disrespect authority figures. So that's a whole nother issue that needs to be addressed as well. But again, we don't like to get to the root of things, and this is sort of a root to an issue. If that was her issue, that she was dealing with some things and going on in her house, maybe her mom, and dealing with that, you know, that's an issue that we need to focus on and help these children and these youths in school, if this is what's going on with them, and get them in a more healthy environment. Stop producing babies in unhealthy relationships. Stop producing babies in unhealthy environments. So you got to take responsibility for your own body and who you let into it as well. You got to take responsibility for yourself. That's another issue that needs to be addressed as well. So this post it opens my eyes to this situation a little bit more, but again, I don't see how to me it doesn't have a connection, because she doesn't fully know the story of the girl that was in the video that got pulled out of her chair by the cop.